Hello there, people of Earth. This is Matt Attack, back with lesson number 6, long overdue, of scripting missions for Tiberium Dawn. This one, we're going to be messing with something called Autocreate and a couple other minor things. As you can see, I already pre-placed a little nod base there. Oh, let me give them a con yard just for the heck of it. Okay. And then, I gave myself a little base here and some units to defend with. First thing we're going to do, before I forget, is name the mission. Lesson 6. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over this thing here called the build level. And if you haven't guessed already, it determines the level of technology you can build on a mission. These basically, for all intents and purposes, follow, if you play the campaigns, level 5 has build level 5, so on and so forth, basically up to 15. I'm going to show you a little trick here. We're going to do build level 98, which actually allows us to build pretty much everything you can build in multiplayer. Commandos, Chinooks, surface-to-surface missiles if you're NOD. You can actually do build level 99. We'll let you even build crazier shit like Dr. Mobius's technicians, but I never do that. It's just kind of jacked. You never really need to do that anyways. Although, annoyingly enough, if I remember correctly, you still cannot build helipads if you're NOD, which sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, and then I guess I have to go over this stuff. Action, brief, intro, lose, and win are all movies that are played. Action and brief come before the mission. I can't remember which one comes first. Lose, obviously, is what plays if you lose. Win is what plays if you win the mission. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Okay, so we named our mission. We got our build level. Let's make sure we remember to give money. Give ourselves $100,000. There we go, $100,000. Same for the bad guy. Okay. Now, alright. How do I explain this? Okay. This base here, when I start, since my units, it's not in the line of sight of my units, the base is going to be shrouded and I'm not going to be able to build anything. I come over here and discover the base. It'll all pretty much light up. Note that I do not have a harvester. Okay? Just note that. When we reveal my base, there's going to be a harvester sitting right there. Now, if I would have a unit like, say, here, and when I start, my base is already revealed, I won't have a harvester. It's really weird, and maybe it'll make sense when you watch. Now, the bad guy, since that's the computer-controlled side, in this instance, again, see, player is good guy. The bad guy is the computer-controlled player, so we actually have to give them a harvester or they're not going to have anything. So, okay, that's good. And let's put a little Tiberium down for them to harvest. And click drag a box, right click, fill with Tiberium. Alright, and let's do the same for our guys here. Put a field down here. Okay, so we got that. registers. Okay. Okay. Now we have to. We're going to give the enemy a production trigger. So we want them to be able to produce stuff, and we'll just do the old tried and true time, production, bad guy, 0. Okay, cool. Now we're going to do Autocreate, and so we're just going to call this auto cause time Autocreate, and we'll give it 10 seconds. I'm curious to see if they start auto-creating at 10 seconds. And auto-create, what it is it's once it is activated, the computer will randomly build these teams that are assigned to be auto-created without necessarily having to have a trigger cause them to be created. It just kind of mixes things up a little bit. To me, it doesn't seem that random. I always like throwing in auto-create, but I like having a lot of specific triggers for my team creation. Okay. So I've got that. Alright. And now, I'm going to show you another little trick. So, because it's hard to tell when the time, in that trigger I assigned it for 10 time units there. It's hard to tell exactly the passage of time in the game, so what I'm going to do is we're going to have a flare go off at the same time as well. Okay, and the way you do that, there's a special waypoint, waypoint 25. That is where your flare will go off. Boom, select that. And then triggers, we'll call this one LAR, and that'll be time DZ at Z, drop zone at Z, whatever. That is the trigger for the flare. This should always be the player side, good guy, and unfortunately you can only have one flare in a mission. It's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, look at that. 10 time frames. Okay, so far so good. Now we're going to create some teams to be auto-created. But first I'm going to give myself some waypoints. Let's do waypoint 0. Waypoint 1. And then waypoint 2. And then waypoint 3. So we're going to have 2 flanks of attack. Teams that go to 0 and then 1, then teams that'll go 2 to 3. Alright, so I'm just going to create a couple teams. It seems like if you make too long of a list, it doesn't auto-create all of them. So here we go. Just like in the game, I'm going to call this Auto 1. That's going to be bad guy. Again, I'm thinking the next lesson I'm really going to cover the U1 number in depth. Do 15. I think that's the best U1 number. The teams are most responsive, yet they still follow your commands pretty accurately. When I say responsive, I mean if they're coming past you and you shoot at them, they will stop and start chasing you, which is a little bit more realistic in the real world. If you don't want them to stop and engage you, set it to 20 or higher. Okay, so what are we going to make this team? We'll give them a light tank and a flame tank. Okay, light tank, flame tank, and we're going to move to 0, move to 1, and attack base. For 99. They probably won't even get to the attack base portion of their command, but what the heck. Now, in order to make a team auto-created, check off that. Autocreate. Go figure. Now also this here, number of teams, for the time being, unless you're auto-creating a team, don't mess with that. I've run into some instances where I crashed the game with this. I think specifically it was because I had a reinforcement with the number of teams set to 1. But it's auto-created, so if it's set to 0, it won't create them. So set it to 1. I think you can set it to higher as well. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't tested yet what that necessarily does. But okay, so we got our first auto-created team. Beautiful. Now we're going to make the next one, Auto 2. That is bad guy again. We're going to set the U1 to 15. What are we going to make this? Let's make this some buggies. Two non-buggies. We're going to go to waypoints 2 and then 3 and then attack base for 99. Okay, oh yeah, I did not forget auto create. Set that to 1. Okay, beautiful. Now also, we're going to make one more team, Auto 3, bad guy, 15. Let's see, let's make this a flamethrower, 2 minigunners. You know what, I'm going to leave it at that. You know what, one thing I did forget to cover in previous lessons is you don't want to make your team types too big. Well, let me finish this before I forget. You don't want to make your team types too big. Specifically, if they're moving through waypoints, if there's too many units in a team, they will get stuck at waypoints. If I remember correctly, I don't make any team of vehicles larger than 5. I had some missions where I had 5 medium tanks successfully going through waypoints. For infantry, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say 8 is the largest I've ever made a team that successfully goes through waypoints. But even then, if you make team types too large, they start getting twitchy and like they'll get stuck for no apparent reason. So this one should work. We're just going to have them attack base for 99. So they're just going to basically get produced right here. Oh, let me clear off that Tiberium so they don't run over that. That is overlay. They're basically just going to go in a beeline that way towards our base and attack us. Okay, so I think that's just about everything. Look at my list here. Give money, okay, to do. Alright. This is already saved as SCG36 EA. So let's take it for a spin. Let's see if this baby works. Lesson 6. Alright. Beautiful. See, they're harvesting already. And of course you saw I used the cheat that reveals the shroud. Watch this.
New construction options. New construction options.
Oh.
New construction
There's our harvester.
options.
Okay, we see the flare went off. Yeah, they're already starting to make the teams to be auto-created. Whoa. The hell is going on there? Okay, interesting. I have a theory that map edges have a lot to do with planes and such. But you see, they're auto-creating like they should be. Of course, they're there. They're attacking our northmost units. These guys are following their waypoints, going through, getting smoked. should have this. There we go. Light tank and a flame tank coming that way. And of course he's making spares here. And
Silos needed. Building.
and as you can see, they just make all that stuff in one surge. And then
New construction.
I think that they generally seem to auto create every like 150 to 200 time units. I'm not exactly sure.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Let's see.
Our
Attack
base
their
is under
platform.
attack.
Oh, what happened?
Yes. Vehicle reported.
And see, they're responding to our attack. That's weird. They actually. There we go. See how they came and engaged the units that fired upon them. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the moment. Sorry, I'm a little out of it right now, but I just wanted to get a video out there. Heck, enjoy. Make a mission for me to play. Oh, look, they're making some more spares. But have a nice day.